minimize, minimize.
And there we are.
Woo!
Ooh, a crappy mobile game. Awesome.
Yeah! You should download it immediately. I bet it has some sick microtransactions.
Oh, boy. Yep. That's where all my money goes.
Mm-hmm. And just right before stream, I finished and prepped this this orc Burna, because I just realized that if I swap in the orc knob, then I can't bring the Spanna with rocket launcher, and so I'm gonna replace him with a second Burna boy. Lucky Bat Uru, K-Night Creations. Hello everyone, looking forward to more greenskin shenanigans.
We can make that happen.
Mm-hmm. That's too bad, because I'm actually going to be switching to some Primaris Lieutenants. So
Perfect. All the special ones?
yeah. Hi everyone. Knobs are looking good. Yeah.
You guys like the look of that knob? James writes, a Burna Boy without a cigar? How odd.
There's only one in the box that has a cigar.
Yeah.
He has a cutout in his helmet so that he can have the cigar.
Yeah. I think I would do the same.
Mm-hmm. So no dude at 88, evening everybody, Cthulhu 73, Octopus Mushroom, Captain Howdy 91. Howdy folks. I of course am Brent from Goobertown Hobbies. Hello.
Oh, hi.
And that voice you're hearing is Ninjon from Ninjon, the YouTube channel.
From Nin John.
Mm-hmm. Which if Ninjon's first model isn't a ninja, I'm gonna be a little annoyed. I want to paint a Ninjon. No, actually, his first model should be his redneck character. I forget his name. It's like he has like a name and everything. Chat, what's the name of Ninjon's character?
George. Flipping out to Dead 88. Is that a pot? We're using a pot of paint?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a lot of Games Workshop colors.
I thought we were saying no to pots.
We are saying no to
What are you
pots.
doing? This is insane.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the next stream will just be moving paints from pots to dropper bottles that I bought from AliExpress.
Okay, that's fine. That is allowed.
And it'll actually only take a couple of minutes, according to my YouTube comment section.
Yeah, you didn't know that? It literally takes 30 seconds.
Jason M, hey everyone, was looking at the new price sheet from Games Workshop. Glad I don't collect orcs. Ooh, is the orc stuff going up a lot? I know they probably have some of the oldest prices of stuff. Like a lot of their kits are like in the $30 range. Where like no Space Marine kits are in the $30 range. So it'll be interesting to take a look at that and see. Because they said everything is getting around a 5% increase, except for books, resin, and metal, which are getting up to a 20% increase. So it'll be interesting to see what really happened. Because they showed off Primaris Tactical Marines, Primaris Intercessors, and they only went up like 2%.
Interesting.
Where's my water cup? It's over there. Why is it over there?
It's a good question. Antonio, probably good that he has no cigar. Smoking doesn't seem up to code while operating an arson weapon. I disagree.
Yeah.
I think it's actually good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wouldn't it be really, really fun if when a Luda died, there was like a mortal wound explosion
That would
because
be
their
good.
tanks explode?
That would make a lot of sense. Again, there's not that many units that can do this in Kill Team, but setting something on fire would be really
Yeah.
cool
God,
to make it work.
it's a really cool new rule they instituted with the Sisters Novitiates, but I think they were way too timid. I think it
Yeah.
would not have been at all unreasonable because it's not even you definitely set things on fire. It's a 50-50.
Right.
Maybe even just
that'd
make
be-
it a stratagem, like at the start of the turn, you do the everything is fire stratagem, and that means all your weapons cause burning.
Ah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I guess the only problem could be because things seem very specific. Like 7 wounds is very specific because it's really easy to do 6,
Yeah,
but it's hard to do 7.
that is true.
So I wonder if if it's like a 50-50 for everything to remove 1 wound, how easy is it to just kill things?
Yeah, that's true. Although really, the best gun on the entire team is the plasma pistol on the Canoness. Everyone else just has a normal 2-3 auto or a 2-3 damage auto gun.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if they gave a lot of stuff burning, like the Space Marine Death Watch. They have a flamer bullet that you can opt into with their special issue ammunition. I think that bullet should cause burning. we need not an FAQ. How do they update rules?
A new edition.
No.
Redo.
No. Scoutbot Productions, how should I build my Tyrannifex? Just wondering. The Tyrannifex is the other thing you can build with the Turvagon kits, and it has the big old gun or the other big old gun. And I would say go with big old gun.
There you have it.
Don't know what the difference is. I think one of them might be a flamer weapon. If it's a flamer weapon, don't give it a flamer weapon because you're probably not going to get close enough to use it. I would definitely do... Tyranids don't have a ton of great options for long-range, high-damage shooting. So if I would look at your weapon options and pick the one that gives you the best range firepower. Because the Tyranids will have no trouble, like, killing easy-to-kill stuff. This was a big problem I ran into with my Space Marines, where it's like, ooh, this is really good at killing orc boys, and this is really good at killing orc boys, and this is really good at killing orc boys. And then all of a sudden, everything, okay, great, I killed the orc boys, and now I can't really hurt anything else on the board. Because it's really fun to kill orc boys. But you need something to take out the tanks, and the heavy infantry, and the long-range shooters.
Yeah. You did, diversify your models.
Yeah.
And your portfolio.
I was just about to make a... Wouldn't it be... I think models should be part of your portfolio. You should be like, hey, I have some savings bonds, and I have some contributions to my 401k, and I have a new Gene Stealer Cult army that I'm working on.
Exactly.
It's about 1,200 points right now. Expecting a 2% return on that investment. BJ McMurray, I might need to pick up Vargard Oberon and his True Love this weekend before the price goes up. That's what I did. Oh, and do I have plans for those too?
Oh boy.
Jason M. Most orc sets went up a decent bit, more than 5%. Don't know much about orcs, but seems like some squads got expensive. Gene Stealer Cult went up a decent bit, and Tyranids are alright-ish. Huh, it's interesting that Tyranids are alright-ish. I guess they haven't gotten anything new in forever. So maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Umark. Wow.
I disagree with that statement.
Big brown cow. Green is best. Flip my dude at 88.
Yes.
I like how Major calls us Wog. Wog. Like, I can't do his voice. Good day, guys and gal.
Better Brothers Tabletop. Knob and Grotz sounds very not safe for work.
Ooh.
Oh, it ain't. It ain't.
Pit Guy Mini. Hey Nick, hey Jay, what do you think the orcs are smoking in their cigars? Some sort of squig herb? Probably.
Some wacky tobacco.
Mm-hmm. Some wacky squig backy.
Mm-hmm. Captain 191. Tiered prices are all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Have people been doing? Is there a chart? Does it say? Did they release a chart or something? Like how do people know what the prices are?
It's probably the price list they send out to retailers so that they can put new stickers on the boxes. But someone will probably do a direct comparison chart.
Interesting. Because it's supposed to go up on the 7th, right?
Yeah.
Or the 4th?
The 7th.
7th. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm just gonna buy one of everything.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll be fine.
If I was worried about price, I wouldn't play 40k.
Yeah. What that means is you just have to figure out a way to make 5% more money.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. You got to ask for a 5% raise at your job.
And then if they ask, well, why do you feel you need a 5% raise? You get into it. You're like, well, have you seen the price of knobs and grots?
Yeah. Gone up 5%. It's ridiculous.
God, I remember when Gretchen went up to 16.
Yeah, that's insane. I feel like it was 10 or 12. 12 bucks.
I feel like I bought some for $12.
Yep. Wow. BS.
Mm-hmm.
Jason M. Price FOMO. Better Brothers Day, what's up? Hey, boss, time for my Warhammer raise. Exactly.
How do you expect me to put together a combined arms attachment on that salary?
Exactly.
Chris, I need my annual cost of DACA increase. Sean, if money was not an issue, I would buy Henry Cavill and make him play 40k for me.
Oh, that'd be fun. Probably expensive.
Yeah. But hey, no money's no object.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, though? If money was no object for me, I don't know if I'd buy much. I have such a backlog.
Yeah.
If money was no object, I'd buy a house.
You get a Bentley.
Uh,
All right, I'll take it for you.
yeah, no, you'll buy a Bentley. And I get to take a ride in your Bentley.
I'll sleep in the car. I don't care.
Yeah, there you go.
Why do you need a house? You can have a Bentley. You can just live in there.
And I think Bentley takes care of insurance for their cars, so
Yeah.
really you're making money.
Yeah, basically. MS Paul. LOL, I just started last month. Think it's too early to ask for a raise? It's never too early to ask for a raise. And do it rudely.
Yeah.
I've heard that helps.
I'll never forget the working at Steinhoffel's, and we were loading something up in the front of the store, and like a new salesperson was coming in, or someone maybe applying for the sales position, and And the manager's like, hey, our average salary here is like $32 an hour. And we looked at each other, and we made eye contact with our receptionist who was making minimum wage.
Yeah. Exactly. Did you know that you can tip at Sonic?
Yeah. Also, it was kind of, unless that was just a lie, I mean, there was not that many people working there. There's like 5 warehouse associates, 2 custodians, the receptionist, and probably 10 salespeople.
Yeah.
So, salespeople must have making good money. Because we were dragging it way down.
Yeah. Right, because they would get commission, but I'm sure that they didn't get that much. I guess it seemed like things moved there, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Interesting. I think we should go work there again.
I agree.
Well, I should work there for the first time.
Yeah. Every now and then,
right?
when I'm driving past it, I'm like, should I just pop in and see? I bet nobody. I think probably the salespeople are still there, but I bet none of the people I was working with are there.
Yeah, there's no way.
I know the manager left not long after I left. I know my buddy Guzman left. I think like a week after I left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes it happens where, like, one person at a job will leave, and then everyone just leaves.
Yeah.
I know that happened with our friend Ash.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone left after she left.
Incarial tips. How much do I need to donate to get a video of a McFarlane Flesh Terror Marine? Well, there's a real price, but I'll say no. The Flesh Terrors are cool. When I was putting together my list of things to buy to escape before the price hike, Gabriel Seth was in the cart because I just put like 20 things in the cart and then whittled it down to like a couple. And the classic Gabriel Seth, sculpted by
George. Close.
Juan Diaz, which is like the beloved sculptor of Games Workshop Minis. Really, really cool little model. And actually, probably if you're a Flesh Terrors player, probably not a bad pickup because apparently it's actually he's going onto the rotating stock. He's one of the 20 Space Marines getting removed. Tabletop. If money was no object, I would just chill. No, I have no chill.
Yeah. Brian Wright. I told my boss many times, if he leaves, I quit.
No, if money was no object, I would put all of it into GameStop.
Yeah. Not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna work out.
Yeah. Armory Burgess. Was the medium average a mean average? The Rybot. Hey Jay, are there any kill team armies you can field some type of Terminator? No. You could field Terminators in the last edition. I still don't think they were good, but you could do it. Yeah, no Terminators in the current edition, which I think is fine. The new edition is mostly infantry versus infantry. A couple of like charactery models, but they're still easy to kill. I think last edition kind of fell into a little bit of a trap of literally being baby 40k, where you just bring whatever you want.
Yeah.
And so you had to buy like 7 boxes to get one of each thing.
Right.
And I know that that last edition had it was built off of games of 40k's list building, which to many people is the pinnacle of perfection incarnate in when it comes to gaming.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a huge fan. It's a lot of work. It's tedious.
Sean, when I was self-employed, I fired myself on a regular basis.
Oh
So
my
finally,
God.
I just retired me, less hassle.
Boy, I bet that was a stressful conversation with your boss.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Gonna have to let you go. You know, it's
Talk
just it
yourself
hasn't
through
been working
here.
out. You've been coming in late. You don't get your
Smoke on
projects
the
done on
job.
time.
You're literally drunk 100%
Yeah.
of the time.
Yeah, you failed every drug test we've given you. Remember, I skipped my last day of high school to go take a drug test in Kenosha for that Steinhoffel's job.
Yes. Yeah, drug tests are good, and everyone should take them.
Yeah, because it mattered if we were high. I guess, I don't know,
Mm.
we operated heavy equipment, blah, 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 you know.
Yeah, it's bad.
Everybody was high, though.
Yep.
It was fine.
Yeah, but you could be drunk and operate heavy equipment, and no one would check.
No.
It's not like you have to do a breathalyzer every
Yeah.
time you walk in.
My manager was hungover most days. And he was risky on that forklift.
Mm-hmm. Risky forklift.
Peter Blantastic, best job, unionized cart pusher at Fred Meyer's. Wow.
Damn. That's fun. I work from home 75% of the time, and I would be a liar if I said I did not build/paint any goobers during Zoom calls.
Ooh, Internet Man. Closest thing to Terminators in Kill Team is heavy intercessors, and there are fan rules for them. Man, heavy intercessors dropped off of the face of Kill Team. They're so bad. Damn, I didn't even remember they existed in the game until just now.
Hilarious. Low He Blood Raven. I like my job. I can watch the EOB stream.
Yeah.
You know, I like your job too.
Jorange J, any ideas for Kill Team boss battles, like 2 fire teams versus a Carnifex? I feel like you just play, you know, fun games of 40k where you just take whatever. One of my favorite Battle Report T videos was from Dice Check, and it was everybody just picked a model they really liked that was like a similar points, and they would just make them fight, and then winners fought winners, and then losers fought losers. And so like one person brought like a Dimacurion from the Tyranids Forge World book. Somebody else brought Thunderfire or Thunderwolf Cavalry, and that was kind of cool. So yeah, I think you just do it. You just say, okay, you bring this, I'll bring this, and we'll make them fight. BJ5, Nick, I wore the Space Marine shirt to the gym last night, and some guy liked the shirt. One of them was named Nick and looked quite a lot like you. Just long, black dyed hair. I know, that was a wig.
That was me.
Yep.
Yep, that was me. Yeah. Zalion. Hey, Jay and Nick, I'm a huge fan of your work here on YouTube and will soon be a Patreon member. I heard you watch Warhammer Plus animations with commentary over top. How'd you do this? On Patreon? Yes, that's on Patreon. And we have all of these. We've done 12, including the one that we're going to do this week on Saturday. It's all up on our Patreon. We have all these. We have all of the posts saved, and then you can look at those posts, and there's a link for you. But you gotta join the Patreon to get those links. It's fun. We really make fun of it.
Yeah. Muse. If you can't smoke weed and drive, you shouldn't be driving at all then.
Exactly. Better with the tabletop. I'm watching from my job too, the most important job, fatherhood.
Aww. Children flex.
Bragging. Yeah. Just bragging about having a fun, happy life.
Chris, employment drug tests aren't there to weed out people who do drugs, but to weed out people who aren't smart enough to not do drugs before they have their drug test. Yeah.
It's also bad. I don't like it.
No.
You should be able to be high at work.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Battle Brothers Tabletop. Heavy intercessors are offensive. What if the first White Dwarf Space Marine team is heavy intercessors, and they just become amazing.
I like it.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind that. I think the heavy intercessors look dope. PJ McMurray, that's one thing I really don't miss about one of my old jobs. Forklift driving is scary. Yeah, we had a small personal lift, and that was actually really fun to drive. It didn't go very fast, and it didn't have the forks. It was just an up and down. Although we would often use it to move heavy stuff because it was heavy. We had a real forklift, but that was actually we would mostly drive it on a track because of the way our warehouse was set up. So it wasn't too bad. I always let my manager really drive it because it's like super hard the weird way. It has a steering wheel, but it's like you really have to give it like 20 spins to turn it around. Mm-hmm. and then you step on the trigger and it lurches.
Mm-hmm. You got to do a drift. Drift around those corners.
Mm-hmm. George Kajara, you fellas gonna try Cyberpunk on your shiny new PCs? For all its problems, it's a fantastic experience. Probably not.
No.
It looks like fun, but no. I like old games.
Mm-hmm. You like games that you could play on a 10-year-old PC.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I'm just rendering up a storm over here.
Mm-hmm. Battle Brothers Tabletop. Kid Flex!
Battle Brothers Tabletop. I see forklift fail videos of people breaking like hundreds of bottles of wine, and it gives me anxiety just watching.
Yeah. There's not a lot of small mistakes with forklifts.
Mm-mm. No. Yeah, we had accidents at my previous job. Somebody dropped a bunch of decks on someone's hand. A bunch of aluminum decks, and it crushes your hand. I mean,
yeah, instantly.
It's not good. Yeah. Not good. Gotta pay attention. I think it was a situation in which the driver could not hear what people were saying. Because either they were being too quiet or they weren't actually paying attention.
Are you victim blaming?
Yes.
All right, everybody, cancel Nick on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, figure out what he said on Twitter. Go get him.
Mm-hmm. Lord Vish, forklift operators live fast and die young, and the ladies love it. You can't cancel me.
Lem Crossview, I have the stream set up on my TV, but I wanted to pop in chat and say I'm loving the streams. I'm listening along as I work on cleaning up a box of Warhammer Underworld's Beastgrave. Ooh, neat.
Beautiful. Yeah, if you watch these streams, you are allowed to work on Warhammer stuff or, any miniatures, or you're allowed to do your taxes. You can either do one of those two things.
Tabletop. I would run them in a heartbeat. Oh yeah, I would love some heavy intercessors. The Rybot. Why are the heavy intercessors so bad? They're a crazy low model count kill team of 4 models. They don't typically Marines have 3 activations, which kind of makes them goodish, but the heavy intercessors only have 2. And their guns are good. They're pretty darn good, but they're not anything to really write home about. It's just they just don't have enough. And Marine teams already kind of struggle a little because of only having so few models.
VJ95, no eating? No eating.
Nope.
Joe Runge, is base coating the worst?
Yeah. I always do my best not to have to base coat. So I'll use airbrush or dry brush or wash, contrast. Yeah, base coating is poopy. It's the step you have to do before you get to do anything fun.
Zalon? What about taxes while painting minis? Oh no, Agrek search page all over my W2. Yep. Michael Jorgensen, but I made popcorn. Too bad, throw it all out.
Yep.
Brian Cardis, do you think the compendium for Kill Team is a waste of money?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. If you want to play anything in Kill Team, I would go to Warhammopedia.
Mm-hmm.
Warhammopedia, Kill Team, Orc Greenskins, enter.
Mm-hmm. Or anything.
Or anything.
Any of the teams. They have the White Dwarf stuff. They have the special teams. They have everything.
Trina Outsider, finally getting a chance to catch one of the streams. Woo!
Great. Welcome.
Battlefield Tabletop. They literally have 8 action points in a single turn. It's a crime. Oh, I would love to hit him with some stun weapons. Get that 8 activations down to like 6.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Battlebars Tabletop. As opposed to Intercessor team that has 15 activations per turn, and even Intercessors suck. Yeah. Boy, would your turns be over fast. I guess you get a little Overwatching in. False Cult Rick. Did you know that the average person swallows 2 to 5 forklifts in their sleep every year? Arian Music. What were you guys? Where were you guys with this info last week before I bought the compendium? We were right here. We're always here. I think everybody should run their Warhammer purchases through us.
Right. I agree.
Eons Battle Fan 763 might join Patreon. Eons of Battle Fan 763 is not a Patreon member.
You might have to remove that fan.
Yeah.
Until you join the Patreon.
Internet Man, so are the better looking teams Tactical Marines and Scouts? Yeah. Tacticals are they're probably a little better because they have that extra body. And Scouts are actually kind of interesting. You get 10 bodies. You can have some sniper rifles in there, missile launcher. Can the Scouts can take 2 fire teams. So I think they can take 2 heavy weapons. So they could probably take they can probably take the missile launcher and heavy bolter.
Sternberg. Wait, just got here. What happened to the compendium?
It's sitting on the shelf unpurchased.
Boom! Some very nice people online.
Ooh,
got you covered.
Battlebars Tabletop. You can take 2 missile launchers. Well, there you go. 10 bodies, 2 missile launchers. Maybe take a shotgun or 2. Maybe not. The bolters are already really good, and they have infinite range. But Battlebars Tabletop. Heavy bolters are for chumps. That's right. I said it. Ooh, do scouts get bolter discipline? All of a sudden, scouts are sounding really good. Although, do scouts only have 2 activations, so that's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
It's Battlefan 763. My cat tried to jump on my shelf, but it hit my magnetized knight and it fell off the shelf. Yeah, that's what cats do. They destroy the things you love.
Mm-hmm.
DJ95, Nick, what program do you use to 3D sculpt?
I use Blender, and I use Vectorworks.
And Tinkercad, right?
Exactly. And do you mean sculpt? Because if you mean like actually sculpting stuff with almost like a fake digital brush, like Blender's for you, where Vectorworks, you can't really do stuff like that. You can only really draft.
Champ Styles, I never noticed that the Space Marine Scouts all have the same face. Legit had me dying, haven't laughed hard at your video since your dance troupe comment about the Gene Stealer cult priests.
Mm-hmm.
They all have the same face and the same donk of a codpiece.
Yeah.
Damn, have they got a little hammock going.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say little.
I think that's where they keep the grenades.
VJ95. I want to make some of my own terrain, and Warhammer works. Yeah, I mean, Blender would be perfect for that. Because you can do, with Blender, you can do really organic organic stuff.
Battlebirds Tabletop Scouts are my guilty pleasure models. I know they suck bad and are so ugly, but I love them. They do have that kind of an effect. I really started to like Scouts once I painted up my squad of... I have 10 Sniper Scouts for my Black Templar, and they were just easy, quick paint job. I did camouflage. I think they look really, really cool. I did some kit bashing and converting on them. God, the regular guys are so bad. Brian Cardis, are all the factions in Kill Team going to have different rules when their boxes come out? Yes and no. They will have additional rules, but their rules aren't replaced. So even though we now have like the Wormblade, you can still take a Genestealer Cult Kill Team from the Compendium. And there's some reasons to do it sometimes. Like if you want to run Acolytes and Metamorphs, you have to run them with the Compendium rules, whereas if you only want to run Neophytes, then you can run them with the White Dwarf rules. Sometimes there's not as much of a reason to. Well, actually, that's not even true. I was going to say Imperial Guard. If you're going to bring 10 Cadians, you should probably bring the 10 Veteran Guardsmen from the Octeris book. But the Compendium Kill Team gives you access to the Tempestus Scions, and 10 Tempestus Scions is actually a pretty slick kill team. So no, there's just going to be way more kill teams to bring now that we're getting more and more rules.
Mm-hmm.
Battlebirds Tabletop Compendium Genestealer Cult is a fantastic team. Yeah, it seems like it. I was reading...
Reynolds. Ben Reynolds, man, I'm highly confident I watched an EOB video that Jay was talking shit on Scouts. Now
oh yeah, most of them. I mean, I have both. I have you know, it's like...
Why are you lying to us?
I do think they suck, but I also do kind of like them.
Well, I feel like you like recently you said that they suck in terms of looks.
Yeah,
but the idea is fun.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of them is fun. So, why are you flip-flopping?
Honestly, I think I might like the old Scouts more than the new Scouts we got with the Black Templar. God, I just don't think they look good at all. Like, they look exactly like football players.
Yeah. Are you saying that football players don't look good?
I mean, football players look cool in like the context of football. I don't think they would look cool on a battlefield.
No. I guess that makes sense.
Battlebirds Tabletop Metamorphs melee do 4 or 5 damage with the balanced, brutal, and rending special rules. Nutty. Damn. Sean, Senator Jay, please answer the question.
Why are you flip-flopping?
You know, I think that we just have to stand with the American people and job creation and
Yep. And
small business, higher wages.
Yep. Built in America.
God bless America.
There you go.
Michael Jorgensen, I'm still waiting for my Rattling and or Squat kill team rules. You know, you're going to be waiting forever. I think Space Marine Scouts would be great count as rules for Squats and Rattlings. I mean, sniper rifles and bolters on a decently tough small model.
That's all you need.
I think those are the perfect rules for you.
Michael, you've already said more of substance than most politicians.
Toby Pin, you guys should have some calm music in the background, like the great intro music. You know, not a bad idea. We sink almost no effort whatsoever into these streams.
Yes, I'll record myself beatboxing and we'll put that in. I'll have that. Yeah. That's exactly what it's going to be.
Lord Vesh, I wish striking scorpions were playable in Kill Team. The idea of them fighting Catachan is peak Predator vibes. It's true. I could definitely see that being really cool. And it gets into the dangerous elite territory, though. I really hope, and I don't think Games Workshop is going to do an elites, like a second compendium with all the elite units from 40k. And man, there is the scout artwork that looks really dope. Yeah, the scouts in the artwork look cool.
Yeah. A lot of things in the artwork look really cool.
ML, with your wet palette, you seem to have really soaked the paper and paints it's on. How do you keep the paint from diluting? The paint, water doesn't really come up from the palette very much. It does a little to keep the paint hydrated, but really you're just slowing down the drying time of the paint. You're not stopping it drying out. So it doesn't become watery.
The only time it can become watery is if you leave the lid on.
Yeah, because condensation.
Yeah, and then it gets in your paint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the evaporation can't get away.
Yeah. Because the water on the sponge has to evaporate.
Mm-hmm. Tabletop, I humbly request that you both beatbox at the same time. All right, so we'll go back and we'll clip that, and that is our new background music.
Yeah. Exactly. That was really good.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be on Spotify tomorrow.
Yep.
Right next to Joe Rogan, talking about COVID.
Exactly. He'll play it on the show.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Battlebirds Tabletop, my opinion is that the specialist teams are the elites of this edition. Yeah, for sure.
Chris, I humbly request you never do that again. No. Now there's spittle all over my mic.
M. Hughes, bring back the whistly kind of song. Man, the short time we had that intro, we would get every video. We would get a couple of comments saying they loved it and a couple of comments saying they hated it.
Yes. It was really fun. It was the extremes.
Yeah.
I love this song more than anything. What is this song? And if you use the song, I'll never watch your videos again. You suck and you should quit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bad Brothers Say what's up. DJ Spittle in the house.
Yeah.
My DJ name now. DJ Spittle.
Can't have anyone. I know it wouldn't be balanced ever, but I'd like a White Dwarf kill team with all 4 assassin models. You know, I don't even think that would be too crazy. I think you could totally write some rules for a 4 assassin kill team and have it be pretty good. ML, how often do you rehydrate the sponge? Even on day 1 of my painting being placed on the palette, the day following the paint will harden. Not sure how to avoid that. Yeah, that's kind of gonna happen. Some paints will last better on my wet palette. I find my black paint will usually last for a couple of days, like 2 or 3 days. Everything else I usually get about 1 day with, especially because I usually put on a very small amount of paint and then use it up and then put on more. So if you look at my palette right now, there's a lot of colors, but they're all used up, really. And so that's pretty much how I use a wet palette. Yeah, definitely, I definitely wouldn't suggest putting on giant blobs. You can probably, I know some people like to put their wet palette in like the refrigerator when they're done. I'm sure you could find like the perfect equilibrium between the between evaporation versus like moisture versus a wet sponge to like keep your paints peak workable for a very long time. But I don't care. It'll keep my paints nice and wet for a really long time, probably good for an 8-hour painting session. And then if they stay hydrated any longer than that, I just consider it a bonus. Mm-hmm. Usually at the end of the night, I'll put the top, I don't have any tops near me, I'll put the top on a little bit askew so that the corners are open, just so that the evaporation has a way to get out. I find metallics do not last at all on the wet palette. Like sometimes I'll need to, after like maybe 4 hours, I'll have to put on new metallics. Light colors usually, like whites, tans, light pinks, those also seem to have a really short life on the wet palette.
Brown.
And brown. Yeah, browns are usually a little tricky.
Brown.
Flipping to Dude 88. My wet palettes, dry times really depend on the room and humidity. Yeah, the humidity where you're at, the temperature where you're at, changes in temperature, everything will affect it. Which is why I think you go with a cheap wet palette and you just get used to it. Because I guarantee Red Grass Game palette, Army Painter palette, all the palettes will perform the same.
Unless they sponsor us, then they'll be better.
Yeah, unless they sponsor us, then they are the best wet palette on the market.
So there you have it, folks.
Mm-hmm. Also, a plate with a paper towel and a piece of parchment paper is exactly as good, too, as a wet palette product.
Boom. Benjamin Reynolds, I put metallics on my wet palettes, but I've seen several videos say that they leave flakes of metal in my sponge. I don't know, it doesn't seem to matter to me.
Yeah, no, I've never noticed that. I've heard some people say it. I've never noticed that happening. I can't imagine how the metal flakes would get through the paper. It could be.
Yeah, like we both haven't. Like that hasn't happened to me either. And then I've seen a video from Miniac saying that that's BS.
Yeah.
And he explained that the water can get through, but the paint is way too thick, and especially the metallic flakes are way too big.
Oh yeah.
To be able to get through the membrane.
I'm like the metallic does get into my sponge because I'm constantly dipping my brush into the sponge to suck up water and then transporting that water to my paints. But I've never even noticed, like literally I'll take my brush loaded up with metallics, dip it into the sponge to add in water, swirl it around, and now there's a spot of metallic paint on my sponge, and even like that, I've never noticed metallics getting into my other paint. I mean, it would be on such a tiny, tiny level, it would not be noticeable.
I think the paint, it's just all too thick to get through that paper.
I wonder if it's people who get metallic paint, who have a lot of metallic paint in their wash cup. And that's how it's getting onto their models and paint.
You know? It sounds like something.
Yeah, because that's totally possible.
Their wet palette.
Mm-hmm.
Benjamin Reynolds, do you think the metallics mess up your nicer brushes?
Yes. Yeah, in theory, if you want to keep your brushes pristine, you should try to avoid metallics and washes with your nice brushes. I don't, and I find that my brushes hold up just fine. Your brushes do have a shelf life. Like, I know if you really, really take care of your brushes, you can get, like, they can essentially last forever. I find brushes lasting a couple of years is plenty good enough for me. So
Well,
I'll use metallics. I'll use washes.
how can you afford the, couple bucks to replace them though?
Yeah. Yeah, I also don't use my nice brushes for much. I use a lot of Walmart specials. Dry brushes I beat the heck out of. And then really for almost everything I use these Rosemary & Co. Synthetic Series 313 size 2s and 3s for almost everything I paint. And you can see like a little bit of darkness near the furl. I have gotten paint back there, which you're not supposed to do. They seem to hold up just fine.
Boom.
Like they are damaged. They're not perfect, but they seem to work just fine. Jason Grumberg. Hey, Warhammer Mini Noob here with an important question. I just built my first model and there is some shiny plastic glue around the edges. Will the primer cover it up? Yeah. Yeah, the primer will cover it right up.
What'd you build?
Daniel Thompson. That's why I never wash my brushes. I just throw them away when I get paint on them. I am in extreme debt to my local art store. Please help.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna be doing a
Indiegogo.
a GoFundMe. Yeah. To help out Daniel Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Grunberger. I got the command box. I made all the Necrons.
Ooh, sweet.
Sweet.
Yeah, what that primer is doing is it's just giving you a nice matte layer for all your paint to stick to.
Matthew Layer.
Mm-hmm. False Cult Rick. Man, should I buy Curse City? If you want Curse City, if you think you have people to play who would play Curse City with you.
It does look cool.
It does. I bet it's a lot of fun. Apparently they're going to be coming out with expansions later.
Can you imagine doing another game?
No. God, I want to do so many games. I want to play a lot more Malifaux. I'd love to give Infinity a try. Aeronautica Imperialis is sitting in the shrink wrap.
Yep. Yep. But we only have time for Kill Team and a little bit of Root.
Mm-hmm. Alt account, been playing Curse City, 4 games in, and the group is still interested in going on. Ah, cool. Race Frankenhauser, Jay and Nick, what is your least favorite Space Marine chapter? Hard mode, can't pick Ultramarines. I like the Ultramarines. I think they're kind of cool.
Black Templar.
I don't know, they're all kind of the same. The least favorite Space Marine chapter?
Blood Angels.
Dark Angels. I've never gotten into Dark Angels.
Dark Angels kind of suck.
They have, which is weird because they're almost like the most, they're almost like the most supported faction of Space Marines. Like they have their own vehicles, they have their own unique flyer, they have Death Watch Terminators, they have their own Space Marine bikes. But I don't know. I wonder if it's like a thing like you're either a Black Templar person or a Dark Angels person, and you think the other one is lame. Because they're both really similar.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of being similar, it is after 10.
Ooh.
We had one video already out this week. We have 3 more, one on Wednesday, one on Friday, one on Saturday, and that Saturday one is a Patreon exclusive episode. Gone through some more Warhammer Plus. That's going to be really exciting. But we also have our Patreon only stream after our normal stream on Fridays, and you can actually call in and chat with us on Discord if you join that Patreon. But we'll be back with another live stream tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central, so join us for that.
All right, everybody. Good night. As you drift off to sleep, please think of our beatboxing.
Yeah.